welcome to this very special show. Well, renewable energy has been really close to Prime Minister Modi's heart, and there have been a lot of initiatives that the government has taken in the last 1.5, almost 2 years. But what has been the progress? What are the challenges and opportunities? We have with us Mr. Tulsi, the chairman of Suzlon Group, to talk about it. Thank you, Mr. Tanti, for talking to Bloomberg TV India. It's great to always speak to you and get a sense on what's happening in the sector. Let me start, sir, by asking you on the way this government has put emphasis on the renewable energy space. That was heartening, welcoming. But do you think one has achieved what the target or envision was of the Prime Minister so far?
I think the government has set a very ambitious target. 175 gigawatt we have to build in our country by 2020.
Right.
And also by 2030, it's a 250 gigawatt. Today our total installed base is 280 gigawatt of the total energy basket. Within that, we have to add 250 gigawatt is there. For industry's perspective, it's a really great and exciting for us because India is equipped to build and deliver this capacity. And same time, our commitment in a COP21, when the Prime Minister has given to the 192 country in the presence of the global society, it's a 33% we will reduce our carbon in the atmosphere from India. And also we bring a 40% renewable energy mix in our energy basket.
Right.
I think it's the right way to go for India to bring a long-term sustainable jobs, long-term sustainable economy, and it will support our rural economy where India is heavily dependent. And it will give a sustainable development for our economic growth.
Sure. I'll come to hybrid, and that's a very interesting model that's come up, which is solar and wind together, and that helps manufacturers as well to de-risk themselves from one range of renewable energy source. How is your hybrid plans coming along? Because you were primarily a wind energy player, but now have gotten in a big way into solar. So take us through your hybrid plans first, sir, and then we'll talk about solar as well.
No, hybrid is the solution for our country because we have a biggest constraint of our grid infrastructure. And that grid infrastructure is a very limited in our country is there and required a huge investment is there. So when we are putting the wind, then we are loading the grid maximum 30% plant load factor. So 70% grid is underutilized.
Right.
What utility like based on the consumer demand and everything, if we use the same grid, 100 megawatts, and if we put 100 megawatt wind and 50 megawatt solars into same grid, so plant load factor will move from 30% to 50%.
So that improves the efficiency.
Then utilization of the infrastructure has improved. Not only that, uncertainty of the variability of the energy production in a 24-hour cycle, it will reduce. It will remain uncertain, but the peak and dip will reduce, which is a very good for a country like India to build like that. So I don't see just to put just solar farm or just wind farm. I think government give a high thrust and high focus in a hybrid solution with the uniform policy framework and to promote more and more, which utility companies will love these types of the energy basket development with the 50% plant load factor. Because if you see the coal-based power plant, normally it's giving 65%, but in our country it's running hardly 50%. So it will match like that. So people should not feel that this is not a firm power, whether wind or solar. And same time we are putting a system design, which is a new technology we have developed. It's called forecasting and scheduling. So in the next 24 hours, every 15 minutes, we are giving the forecast of the energy productions to the utility so they can do the load management and distribution management very efficiently. That is a need 100% for our country.
Sir, let me talk about Suzlon now and the way we've seen the company in the last 1.5 years, ever since you went and embarked on your debt reduction plans. What has been the focus and how successful have you been in terms of reducing your debt? Also, your own energy plans in both solar and wind. What are your targets that you've set out?
I think in the last 3 years, we have passed through the very difficult times and most of the time and energy from us is going to the liability management. But we are so lucky that we have sold out our German subsidiary, and we have bring the 7,200 crore, and also with the support of DSA Group, we have raised the 1,800 crores with their support. So almost 9,000 crores we have bring in our company cash. And we have reduced from 12,000 crores to our 8,000 crore level debt. So debt is now very comfortable, is there. And whatever the debt repayment or the FCCB repayment, everything, it's not before the March 2018. Yeah. Not only that, we have a covered bond. It's a $600 million, which is we have to pay in 2023. So we are not worried about the repayment obligations are coming so fast. So next 3 years, we will not have a much outflow of the repayment. Yes, we have to pay the interest. In interest area also, by reduction of debt and optimizing the interest structures, we have reduced our interest cost almost 50%. So now we are very comfortable is there. And as you know, our manufacturing capacity and capability of the company is a 4,000 megawatt. The last year we have done only 400 megawatts.
So there's a lot of scope.
Because of that, our debt looks big. But now this year almost we are doing a 2.5 times growth. And again next year the market is growing 30% and we grow more than 30%. Our growth will be in the next year. And because of that, and we have addressed our cost structures. Also we have bring down and we have enhanced the margin and everything. Our EBITDA margin is the highest in the industries today is there, compared to all over the top 10 players. So we are well now positioned. Same time, Indian market is growing very rapidly. So we are the 20 years player in Indian market, pioneer in the sector.
Complete 20 years, I think.
Just recently. Yes. So we have a great opportunity to go back to the
Sure. But sir, you know,
volume.
last we saw profits from you in 2009, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
When do we see Suzlon become profitable again? Because that is one of the big concerns of the investors.
Very soon you will see. I know my old stakeholder is watching me. When Tanti will bring the profit, this financial year we will be in the profit by March 16. So it's not too far.
That's going to be a big after a big gap.
And, my 8,000 employees are working 24/7. We have not increased our fixed cost. Not only that, we have reduced 50 crore our fixed cost in the current financial year, and we have increased our volume 2.5 times. So we are very efficiently, very aggressively executing all the orders.
The kind of concerns the investors sometimes have, as you pointed out, that there's no big stress because debt repayment is some time away. But how would you answer someone's concern about a possible, because you've defaulted once in the past,
Correct.
And you know, the share price keeps fluctuating. How do you address the concern about the debt repayment or default that will not happen this time around?
I don't see up to 2023 I have to pay all my debt, and major repayment is coming 2023, 600 odd millions. I am very confident based on our the growth, based on our strategic move, because we don't require any huge capex investment for the next three years.
Correct.
Because we will utilize our resources to go on a 4,000 megawatt level very fast. In the next 3 years we will achieve that volume by domestic market, and we'll start again good export because rupee is depreciated, so we have a good opportunity to the international market. We are quite good investment is doing in the technology, which we are bringing the next generation of the product. Earlier industries average PLF in the market was 25%. We have delivered in Gujarat our 120 meter turbine where you have also visited. So it's now 35% plant load factors.
Huge,
and next turbine we have just introduced is S111. It will give us the 40% plant load factor. And next turbine is again in the pipeline, which we are introducing in the next financial year, and that will be the 45%, which is a very high plant load factor country like India as a low wind regimes. So that product will unlock the margin and also unlock the so many sites. So we will increase our volume. So this is focus 1. The focus 2 area, increase the margin area. The focus 3 area, we are also parallelly increasing our top line through the solar business, because we are end-to-end solution provider in a country. There is not a single OEMs in Indian market who is doing a total solution for the investors for the solar. Where wind, we are total solution provider.
So
we decided, why not we do, because we have a same infrastructure, same grid and everything. And we have a 10,000 megawatt our running asset. So we have a 5,000 megawatt grid infrastructure is available within our wind farm. So we can leverage those infrastructure and we can provide the very good project and long-term service to our customer. We are not going to invest in a solar asset, but we will give the total turnkey solution, EPC solution.
Do you plan to tie up with certain players that are already there or have shown interest and they have had no such experience? For example, Adani, and there are many other players who have come.
No, those customers are bidding in the market.
Right.
So they are getting the PPA.
Right.
And after that, somebody need who can build the project.
That's what I'm saying. So are you open to that?
We have already communicated to all the bidders in the market. Suzlon is equipped and ready, and we have almost more than 5,000 megawatt infrastructure ready.
So have you got any orders yet? Or
no, we have just started and we are working. And the first projects we are doing a 210 megawatt in Telangana, because we got that the bidding is 5 rupees 65 paisa the tariff. It's a good tariff. So we are building and we are already discussing to our existing customer. So they will purchase this project completely. So first project by September 2016, we are doing 200 megawatt solar. And the next year our plan is almost 400 megawatt. We will build in the next financial year 400 megawatt the solar for our customers. So we will do the total solution provider. So that will increase our top line without increasing the fixed cost.
That makes sense.
And using the infrastructure which we have.
Already.
So we can monetize on that benefit.
But sir, with the aggressive bidding that we've seen on solar, and they are probably the lowest in the world kind of numbers that we are getting. Each time one state opens it, a new bidder comes with the lowest possible figure. Is that really sustainable, achievable and viable?
Honestly, it's not sustainable. Because based on 4 rupees 34 paisa, the equity IRR for the investor is not more than 10%. So some financial investor
will have to take
from overseas may be interested to invest in India with the 10% IRR, which is extremely low. Second thing, in 25 years, some of the project risk, uncertainty, the utility payment situations, and the financial cost today and tomorrow. So that economic impact is driven. So maybe I strongly believe the financial investors, those are bidding in this market, they do the proper risk assessment of 25 years of the investment.
Coming back to Suzlon, sir, in your you said not big capex is going to happen over the next 3 years because you're looking at consolidating pretty much. What about your plans to maybe further sell off some assets that are not non-core assets or places where you think you want to exit out?
Correct.
Is that something that's parallelly being working on?
We are continuously seek a lot of our manufacturing base, which we are not using for the next generation of turbines, and some shift in the business in one state to other state. So we are continuously exploring whatever the production facility and other thing, which is for old turbine or smaller turbine area is there, like in Pondicherry plant is there, some production facility in Daman we have. So those types of facilities.
How much money you think you will be able to raise?
So it depends on the market demand and other things.
A rough estimate?
But by selling some asset, at least 400 to 500 crores, we can able to raise out of that the business. But what we are focusing is there, we are more consolidating and utilizing whatever the investment we have to increase in the growth without increased capex, without increasing the fixed cost. So that will unlock the margin and the volume, which will start generating the free cash flow. Next year we will be in the free cash flow.
Coming to the macro situation and where we are as a country, we are seeing massive slowdown all across the globe. And while we keep saying India is the bright spot, I think there's not much that's happening as far as India goes when you talk about attracting investments. What's your sense about the fact we are exposed to the environment, global volatility? China slowdown, we've seen massive, and other nations, none are looking really up. how do you look at India in such a situation?
Our situation is catch 20.
21, 22, yeah.
22. So it's a very difficult situation is there. The global economy environment is uncertainty and slowdown is there. Rupee will depreciate. Oil price will go up. The banking financial situation is difficult. The utilities financial difficulty is there. I think government interest and intention to grow our nation is very huge. But external environment situations and the internal situations are yet not supporting very well to do that. But I strongly believe this momentum will give the fruits not in 2016, but in 2017 it will come the better result because momentum has started.
And it will take some time before.
Some time, but 2017 it will affect. The current financial year is extremely important. How we can bring the confidence of FDI investment in our capital market or in the renewable asset investment. I think that is a topmost, and we have to fix up the bank's concerns very fast. We have to fix up the utility financial situation. No doubt government has taken a strong initiative. All the debts from the generating company has transferred to the government state level, but we have to put on action on that project. So that will improve. We have to give the consumer perspectives, demand creation. So internal growth is very important because that will stimulate our economy. We have to bring the GST without further delay and everything. And for renewable, we have to keep a GST as a zero because whatever energy sales is happening, there is no GST. So that it should be a neutral condition, so it should be zero. So that is very, very important. We have to give a high thrust on the export to support our rupee depreciation and to encourage the SME company. So these are the initiatives will help and more incentive for manufacturing company for the export. Today we have a 2% on a certain segment. So instead of 2%, we should give a 5% because overall economy point of view, it will help us a lot. And the domestic job creation based on the export. So these are the initiatives are very important is there. When I see the Make in India initiative, I think it's a great initiative by government. In Bombay, all the state government was there together and very quite good traction and tensions and the competitions between the state was there. I think it's a good, and every year we should do that type of the event in the Bombay, so that we can continue that encouragement for the investment from the domestic company much more rather than bringing the overseas company, because we have to build first great confidence of the Indian promoters.
Which is currently not...
They have to invest and we have to encourage them.
But Indian promoters right now are not very confident, sir, from the sense that you picked
No, concern is there because all the companies are stuck up in so many investments, which already done is like a power sector is heavily affected
leveraged,
is there, right? Some of the other infrastructure sector is heavily stuck up is there. So there is a huge the debt concern and other thing. So they don't have an appetite for the further any new investment area. So we have to address those all concern areas of the existing investment and to support. Why our situation happened, Suzlon, 3 years before the government has removed the GBI and removed the AD. The domestic market of 3,300 megawatt has gone down to 1,500 megawatt.
Almost
How
half.
we can sustain? And because of our debt has gone up. We have sold out asset, fine. We have come back. But the consistency for the longer period is extremely important for any investment.
Sure.
Not just renewable. And that is the concern.
I think policy clarity is what everyone has been watching out for.
No, policy is there.
And consistency.
But lot of implementation and longer period policy, not just 1 year.
Sure.
5 years. These are the two.
And this won't change.
Yeah, 2022, these are the policy and these are the fiscal benefit.
And this won't change.
It will not change in between, it will be continue. So that will help. Second area, Make in India can be successful very fast to stimulate our economy and to make a real success and to create an enormous job. I think focus should be not large manufacturing company. Focus should be SME. All SME has a capacity to expand and double the capacity with the low capital very fast because they are the cash cautious. So they will do faster.
Right.
And they are not stuck up in the debt situation or anything. And they don't have the big issues. So they can able to expand fast. What is required is there. Our country has a financial cost is higher and our power cost is higher. So if we give a renewable company the SME company can invest in a one windmills for their captive power requirement. So they can hedge their power cost for the next 25 years. By doing that, they will make the product competitive, domestic, and they will start export. I think we have to support SME company to provide that willing and banking policy with the 5% interest rebate, which is available in TUF scheme, textile upgradation
Absolutely.
scheme.
Yeah,
Same we should bring here. And they will be more than 2 million SME can immediately expand on a capacity wise, because they are getting a low cost of energy, which utility will not give.
Yeah.
But if you put captive and 5% interest rebate, I think they can do.
Right.
And for them is extremely important, accelerated depreciation.
Yeah.
So we give that visibility for 5 years. Yes, we will not change this. So then SME will invest for the captive. They make their power cost longer period and hedge. And the cost of power to the manufacturers will be not more than 3 rupees.
Right.
So that is a big change will come for them. And these 3 rupees for next 25 years.
So they
will be safe. on that cost.
Sure.
And then they can able to export very well.
Absolutely. So I'll come to a different element now on the Startup India plan, and you've been an entrepreneur and someone who knows it all. How have you seen this initiative by the government, the recognition of entrepreneurship in India and the way you can leverage on it?
I think entrepreneurship is DNA in our country. Some of the states are 100% population is the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I can say Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, some portion of the Maharashtra. And what is a new India need, requirement, like digital technology area, the renewable energy space area, the pharma areas, and the food processing area,
big, yeah.
the water conservation and water securities areas, and some extent more value-added agricultures. I think enormous space for our young generation has. Right? They can start with the small. Initial seed capital should be provided. Initial funding and financing, we should take some risk on that. And then some structure long-term policy framework for them for 10 years, so that they get the visibility on that area. Okay, these are the things are there. Why today we are successful in 1995 when we have started the Suzlon? Nobody is knowing this technology in India. But just by the technology, indigenize them, make an Indian application-based technology and everything. And that's we have.
And now government is at least willing to give that support. At your time,
and after 20 years now, government is realizing that this is the sector is the future.
Right.
So maybe we are ahead 20 years.
So are you, amongst the 5 that you mentioned, you are present in one of them. Yeah. Is your focus or somewhere down the line, would you want to become
a champion from India? Already I am there, but I want to become a champion for the world. And take it to the wind and solar product from India to all over the world.
But no, I was saying any other fields that you would want to diversify into?
No, we just focus on renewable,
okay.
Wind, solar, hybrid and tomorrow storage. So that is the total solution. So our focus is the large utility scale, total solution to our customers, and take care of their asset for 25 years through service. So this is the business model. Our group, our family will focus on that.
I want to come to that because we understand that your generation next is focusing a lot on your businesses and the opportunities. Tell us what your, if at all, your succession plan is and how is it looking?
They are coming with the more the knowledge, more educations. Studied undergraduate in UK and the USA is the master, and daughter has done in Canada the master. So I think they come with the great experience and exposure from the different geography knowledge and everything. And now currently the son is focusing on the wind business area, where we are building the projects and we will sell that projects. So that is the focus area he is focusing. And daughter is focusing the next development what we are doing in a solar segment.
So wind and solar being well distributed amongst.
Both she will focus on a solar and son will focus on a wind. So that is going well.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tanti. It's always great speaking to you.
Thanks.
And lovely campus.